that little rhythmic snap and guitar figure at the start of Ed Sheeran's Shape of You.
Oh, yeah. Instantly recognizable.
Totally right. So today, that earworm, that's our launch pad. We're doing a proper deep dive into this huge hit. We've got the official lyrics, even the music video transcript, to really see what makes it tick, beyond just being catchy.
Right.
Our mission is to get past the casual listen, really unpack the story and the lyrics, the feelings, how it's delivered, maybe even some clever writing bits.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy sometimes to just brush off a massive hit as, like, good marketing or something.
Sure.
But often there's real craft under the surface. And by looking closely at the words, we can see how Sheeran builds that story, makes certain choices about showing how a connection develops.
Okay, so let's jump right into that story then. It starts in a place that feels familiar, but with a twist, doesn't it?
Yeah. The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go.
It's like he knows the awkward club scene, right? And pivots to the bar, which feels a bit more, well, grounded. What do you make of that opening?
Well, what's interesting straight away is how it moves from this general idea to a really specific personal thing. He's not just at a bar, he's with his friends, doing shots, normal social stuff.
Right.
And then this person catches his eye and actually starts a conversation. That directness. And the line, "Trust me, I'll give it a chance now." It feels kind of casual, confident, maybe?
Yeah, confident, but maybe also like, pleasantly surprised someone came up to him.
Could be. It has that vibe.
Yeah, because it's not the singer making the first move.
Yeah.
That's an interesting dynamic itself.
It is.
Then we get, okay, wait, I jumped ahead thinking about the bedsheets smell like you. Right, that's later. Before that, we get dancing to Van Morrison.
Ah, yes.
That feels so specific, almost nostalgic.
Yeah.
What does that add to the scene, do you think?
Oh, the Van Morrison bit is great for setting a mood, isn't it? It brings in this feeling of, like, timeless romance, maybe a shared taste or something between them.
Right, even in just that first meeting.
Exactly. It adds this layer of warmth, a bit of classic charm before things even really get going properly.
Like a little shortcut to a certain feeling. Okay, then the energy picks up in the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
Girl, you know I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me.
That's pretty forward.
It's confident, almost audacious, maybe. But then there's that playful self-awareness right after, I may be crazy, don't mind me.
Yeah, okay.
It's like he's saying, yeah, I know this is bold, but kind of softening it with a bit of humor, maybe a touch of vulnerability too.
Misarming, yeah. Which brings us right to the main hook. I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. That difference between shape and body, that feels important. What could shape mean compared to body, and maybe the order he says them in?
That's a really key point. You could definitely read shape as like the whole package, the energy, how they move, just the overall impression, a kind of holistic attraction.
And body, then, is more the immediate physical side of things, the order. Well, maybe it suggests being captivated by the whole presence first, then the more physical attraction kicks in, and admitting the feelings my heart is falling to are coming along as well.
Right, so it's not just one or the other.
No, they're definitely intertwined. It's a mix.
That makes a lot of sense. Like the overall vibe draws him in, then the physical connection cements it, and the story moves on to a first date, and it's surprisingly normal.
Very normal. You and me are thrifty, so go all you can eat, fill up your bag, and I fill up a plate.
Not exactly a candlelit dinner, is it?
No. And that detail, I think, works really well to make them feel, well, relatable, grounded.
Yeah.
It sort of suggests they both value being practical, maybe, or just aren't bothered about fancy appearances. It's more about just enjoying being together than splashing cash.
And it seems to work because they connect while talking about the sweet and the sour and how your family's doing okay. Just small everyday stuff that builds closeness.
Absolutely. Those little bits of conversation are crucial. They show that emotional connection developing beyond just the physical attraction.
Right.
Sharing ordinary things about family, the ups and downs, the sweet and sour that shows a certain comfort level, some trust building.
Then you get that classic romantic image, but in a really everyday setting, kissing the backseat of the taxi cab at night.
Yeah.
It's a familiar idea, but put right into that casual date context.
And putting that romantic moment inside the otherwise sort of down-to-earth date actually makes it stand out more, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe it does.
It shows that even in ordinary situations, you can have these real moments of connection and romance. And of course, repeating those main lines about being in love with the shape and the body just reinforces that main theme, that growing infatuation.
So let's switch gears slightly. What's the overall emotional feeling you get from the lyrics? It seems to start with that confidence, but it changes a bit.
You're right. It does evolve. The beginning has that confident swagger, definitely, especially when approaching her, or rather being approached and saying he wants her love. But as it goes on, you get layers of like real infatuation and that hint of vulnerability when he admits his heart is falling too. And there's a real sense of comfort, closeness in the later verses too. But overall, it feels pretty upbeat, positive, reflecting that excitement of something new and promising.
And even though we aren't listening to him sing it right now, you can almost hear how the delivery might change, can't you?
Oh, absolutely.
The verses feel more like talking, almost spoken word rhythm.
Yeah, vamos a
leading into that much more melodic sung chorus.
Totally. The way the lyrics are structured pretty much suggests that kind of dynamic delivery. The verses telling the story probably have a different rhythm and tone than the big emotional repeated chorus.
Right.
And that contrast is a classic pop songwriting trick, isn't it? It creates variety and makes the key messages really hit home.
And even just reading the words, the setting the club, the dancing, it strongly suggests a certain kind of music, right? Upbeat, rhythmic.
Definitely.
The way the lyrics are built with those repeated hooks and those I bits, it just screams danceable production.
Yeah, the lyrics almost feel like a blueprint for a dance pop track. The repetition, those rhythmic chant-like parts, they're clearly designed to be super catchy and fit into that groove. The words and the implied music are totally working together to create the song's overall vibe.
Okay, let's put on our literary analysis hats for a sec. That simile, we push and pull like a magnet do. That's quite effective, isn't it? What does that image tell us?
It's a great simile. It really captures that often complicated dynamic when you're first attracted to someone.
Yeah.
The push and pull, it suggests that magnetic draw, obviously pulling them together, but maybe also hints at a bit of playful resistance, or just the back and forth as two personalities kind of figure each other out, find their rhythm.
Finding their groove.
Exactly. It's a neat way to say something quite nuanced.
And the repetition. Wow, it's everywhere. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby. What's the effect of all that repetition?
Well, repetition does a few really important jobs in a pop song like this. First, it's just basic memorability.
Yeah, it makes it catchy.
Makes it super catchy. Those lines get stuck in your head. Second, it really amplifies the main feelings he's expressing, just hammering home that infatuation.
Right.
And musically, it gives the song anchors, reinforces the hooks, makes it feel more impactful.
And then there's that really sensory image. Now my bed sheets smell like you. Such a small detail, but it creates such a strong picture.
Oh, that line is incredibly evocative. It just cuts through abstract ideas and it gives you this immediate, almost physical sense of intimacy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really
Of a shared experience. It suggests they're comfortable enough that her presence is literally, lingering in his personal space. It's very effective sensory detail.
So pulling all this together, just looking at these lyrics, how might Shape of You give us a peek into Ed Sheeran's maybe artistic growth or his perspective? That down-to-earth date, for example, feels very much like that relatable image he often projects.
That's a good point. That relatability, the lack of pretension in the lyrics, especially that first date bit, it does seem to fit with his general public image, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And also, maybe the way he's so direct and honest about both the physical attraction and the feelings starting, that could suggest, perhaps, an evolution in his songwriting, moving beyond simpler love songs to explore that mix of desire and connection. The tone too confident, but with that little bit of vulnerability we talked about that could maybe reflect some personal growth in how he expresses these things.
It is interesting how the song, which is obviously very much about physical attraction, makes sure to include, although my heart is falling too.
Right. It's not just surface level.
It adds that emotional layer. Could that point to a kind of maturity in how he writes about relationships now?
It's definitely a plausible way to look at it, acknowledging that emotional depth alongside celebrating the physical side. It does suggest a more well-rounded view of relationships.
Yeah.
It shows an understanding that, okay, maybe it starts physically, but real connections usually involve something deeper emotionally. So yeah, that blend could reflect growth in his lyrical themes.
Okay, so we've really taken Shape of You apart here, looked at the story, the feelings, the implied sound, the writing tricks, and how it might connect back to the artist. It's definitely more layered than just, a catchy hit you hear everywhere.
Absolutely. When you actually spend time looking closely at the words, you get a much better appreciation for the art and the skill that goes into making a song that connects with so many people.
For sure.
It really shows how powerful, well put together lyrics can be in telling a story and making you feel something genuine.
So here's a final thought for you listening. Considering how incredibly popular this song has been, and still is, what single thing do you think really makes it connect so strongly with people all over the world? Is it that relatable kind of ordinary way it shows a new relationship starting? Is it the beat we can almost feel just from the words? Or maybe that honest, slightly vulnerable mix of attraction and real feelings developing? Definitely something to think about next time you hear that opening snap.